All the hype, all the momentum, it's finally come down to 24 hours to go. Super Bowl 42 coming your way in less than that time period. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you on the final edition of Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Comcast. Of course, the University of Phoenix Stadium right behind us here in Glendale. NFL.com's Pat Kirwan, he's been with us all week long, my partner
Jason.
all season.
Good to see you, kid.
Glad to welcome in Super Bowl 40 MVP of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Hines Ward. Nice little nudge there. How's the week been for you, Hines?
You know what? The week's been good. As a player, you want to come out and, of course, you want to participate in the Super Bowl. But, coming down here and being a part of it as a player and also as a fan, it's a great experience to come down here and be a part of.
Hines, a lot of talk this week about the Giants' momentum, winning 3 games on the road to get here. You guys did that in 2005 season and had won a few games to get into the playoffs, had all the momentum. But then there's that week off before the game. Does the momentum really play a factor with that extra week off?
I think so. I mean, like I say, you've been playing well up to a point. Then you take a week off really just to try to get the guys healthy. But, you really don't lose that chemistry that you had, that confidence that you have going in. And anytime you can win on the road in the NFL, it's always hard, especially the way the Giants have done it throughout the playoffs. It gives you a lot of confidence coming in the game. And now you're 1 game away, so you have to lay it on the line. And it's for all the kahunas, all of it, and that's what it's all about. The one big game, you want to go out and make a play for it.
Pat, what do you remember about watching this man in Super Bowl 40?
First of all, I think he's the best, most well-rounded receiver in the game. A, he's a great blocker. And these are the order of things that impress me on a regular basis. 2, clutch catch guy. When you need it the most, he's going to be there to make the catch. And 3, which I talk to Bill Carroll about him all the time, the team, the whole team, the way he sees his football team, the way he's nurtured the young players around him. I hope the Giants have a guy like you that can keep the young guys that are going to have to take the field, keep them under control emotionally.
Yeah, I think, Michael Strahan, I mean, he's been a part of the Super Bowl, and, so many guys, you get caught up into the whole aura about the Super Bowl. Sometimes I remember, talking to Jerome, talking to guys. We didn't really have a guy who actually played in the Super Bowl, so everybody always consoled to Jerome, well, what are we going to do or whatever. And I specifically remember warming up in the pregame warm-up Super Bowl. I was kind of hyperventilating because I was trying to get myself up so much. And it's, like I say, it's every kid's dream is to play in the Super Bowl. And come tomorrow, all those guys are going to fulfill their dreams, and you want to be that guy to make the play in the Super Bowl.
How fast do the jitters go away and it gets to a real game? Does it ever get to just a real game, regular game to you?
Yeah, it gets to a real. I mean, after the first couple of series plays, you get that hit, you're ready to go out there and compete. You really don't think about the Super Bowl, the magnitude of it, millions are watching. But, when you hear the national anthem, you see all the flashlight when the first kickoff goes, then that's when you kind of get jitters like, wow, I'm playing in the Super Bowl.
Hines, what about the night before? This is Saturday. Did you get any sleep? Did any of your teammates get any sleep the night before?
You know what? For me, I didn't at all. Like, I laid in bed and constantly was just looking up in the ceiling. I was like, wow, I'm about to play in the Super Bowl, But, you wake up, you eventually go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, and for most players, they don't like to sit around all day. And that's the hardest thing. What do you do in the morning, the afternoon, leading up to the Super Bowl? So that's, you have your family members in and, playing with your kids or your close relatives or whatnot. So it's a matter of, staying on course and not getting too distracted before the game.
One thing I'd love for you to share with the viewers is the length of the halftime and how much different it is. It's the only game where they're going to put you in that locker room for a long time.
Yeah, it is. I think the halftime, with the halftime show is, as players, we sit down, you make game time adjustments, and then you go back on the field. But, Super Bowl, after you do all that, now you're sitting around and you have to cool off, you have to warm back up again. And I think that's the biggest change than anything is the halftime between, because you have so much time, like 15, 20 minutes sitting in the locker room really doing nothing.
Phil Simms told us yesterday he took a nap. What'd you do?
I don't know what I was doing. I think I was rehabbing or something, trying to heal up.
I can tell you what he was doing. Cower, I'm open, man.
Yeah, the score
Bill
was
told me
real
you
close.
worked him pretty hard.
Always. I want to be that guy that the team can count on to make a play. And the score was close. I think it was 7-3 going into halftime and making some adjustments. And, you always throwing your 2 cents out there. Hey, we can do this. We can do this.
Can I tell you what he does?
Well, you tell
Because
me.
I got the scoop. The pictures that come down, we always see on the sideline, they're filming the pictures.
Of course.
Hines would get the pictures first. He would circle himself, and he would go over to Bill Cower and say, look for yourself. It's right here. I'm wide open.
I didn't do it to that extent, but I was always in the back of Coach Cowher's ears, like, I think we got this play. And unfortunate for us that the reverse pass that solidified the game and consequently we won the Super Bowl, I kept calling for the play because we ran a reverse early. And soon enough, they called it and went for a big play and scored a touchdown.
The feeling the moment you cross the goal line and realize you're in the end zone and you're about to win the Super Bowl.
Man, words can't describe. My whole body was just, went into shock almost because, when you caught it, you see all the fans standing up and cheering your name, and to catch a touchdown on the grandest stage of them all means the world to me. It's something like, I remember watching the Super Bowl and trying to emulate, Jerry Rice after he scored the touchdowns, and you go outside the next day and, I'm going to be Jerry Rice today. Well, there was a kid out there after I scored the touchdown that said, well, I'm going to be Hines Ward out there, and that's just the greatest feeling in the world.
And Detroit was like a home stadium for you guys.
Yeah, it was. It was home away from home. I think all the people, the Steelers Nation, they bought up the whole tickets, but it was still cold weather outside. So, but it was a great home feeling, and especially being that Detroit and Pittsburgh very close. It really made players feel at ease playing in Detroit.
Certainly been a great time spending with Hines Ward. We'll have more with Hines Ward here on Countdown to Kickoff presented by Comcast. We'll get his breakdown of the game. Remember, he played with Plaxico Burress for a long time. Did it surprise him that he made the prediction this week? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what it's like to play the Patriots. All coming up here on Countdown to Kickoff presented by Comcast.